Welcome to the Goosebumps channel. So, have you played Shin Megami Tensei Free Nocturne? No? Well, then let me tell you something. In SMT Free Nocturne, we play as the Demi-Fiend. The Demi-Fiend used to be a normal human boy, but when their teacher invited them to the roof of the hospital they were visiting her at, the conception happened. An apocalyptic event where the world was flooded in demonic energy called Magatsuhi, and is prepared for the creation of the next world, hence conception. Only the people inside of the hospital, the Demi-Fiend's two friends, his homeroom teacher, and the man who orchestrated the conception, Hikawa, managed to survive. Throughout the course of the game, we discover what this new world is, recruit demonic friends, and discover how the new world will be created. The essence is this: those with enough determination, with a strong enough philosophy or reason, can summon a demonic sponsor. These demonic sponsors are godly entities from outside of their world, from the Amala multiverse, and give a person the power to make their philosophy for a new world come true. The Demi-Fiend, our player character, battles through this conception world, gathers strength, and through his choices can influence the philosophy that will eventually be at the basis of the new world. There's a question on the tip of your tongue that I can already anticipate. I clicked on a video about Deltarune. Why is this guy talking about so much about fucking Shin Megami Tensei? He hasn't even mentioned Deltarune yet. Well, I'm getting to it. Give me a minute, I guess. Back in 2018, Jesus Christ, in an interview with Nintendo, Toby revealed that the sparing/talking mechanic in Undertale, and conversely in Deltarune, was inspired by the Shin Megami Tensei series. Now, is this a breakthrough piece of evidence? No. Does it mean that it's possible that Toby has played Shin Megami Tensei Free Nocturne? Certainly. So, with that piece of evidence, I guess, let's move forward. What is my theory here, then? What am I actually saying? Well, let us start with this. Sans is an oft-discussed element of Deltarune and of Undertale, and that's for many reasons. He is one of few Undertale characters actually present in Deltarune. His meta-adjacent, fourth-wall-breaking personality is still intact, which once again begs the question of how he seems to know so much about the player. But the most important one is this: it seems, because of a litany of things that have happened in the story of Deltarune, that Sans the Skeleton from Undertale and Sans the Skeleton from Deltarune might in fact be the same physical person. That in one way or the other, Sans either moved from Deltarune to Undertale, or from Undertale to Deltarune. There are a lot of things that support this. It's mentioned that Sans and Papyrus both just appeared in Snowdin one day out of nowhere and asserted themselves as part of the community. In the Genocide Route Sans fight, Sans says that he's long given up on going back, and even going to the surface doesn't interest him anymore, implying that going back and going to the surface aren't the same thing for him. There's the stuff in his lab, the strange machine, and the picture of people you don't recognize. There's more, but I think this already serves to build the point pretty well. He is a man out of time and space, and the mystery of where he actually comes from seems to be one that just keeps getting attention. And I feel like that establishes this point well enough. Whichever way it is, Sans is a man not from here. He is either from Deltarune and out of place in Undertale, or from Undertale and out of place in Deltarune. And while honestly there are signs that he is out of place in either world, I'll be moving ahead with the idea that he moved from Deltarune to Undertale. And I'll be mostly hinging that on the It's Raining Somewhere Else thing. If you don't know, It's Raining Somewhere Else is a song from Undertale with heavy ties to Sans. It's kind of somber for a man like Sans, but it's definitely tied to him. For years, it was speculated that somewhere else was the place where Sans comes from. And then, in Chapter 4 of Deltarune, this song played. Through the rain, we start to hear that ever-familiar melody. And if in Undertale it was raining somewhere else, then Deltarune seems to be that place. The place where it rained. The place that Sans wants to return to. With that established, a question starts to rear its not too bad looking head. If Deltarune and Undertale are two different worlds, what exactly are they to each other in relation to each other? Like, seriously, is Undertale an alternate reality, a different timeline? Are they just two completely separate worlds that you could just travel between? Like, what is actually going on here? And while I've had this question in my mind for a while, I think it's only recently that an answer has actually started to form in my head. So let's think about the roaring for a second. What is it exactly? From what we learned, the roaring is an event that happens when too many dark fountains are opened up at once. When this is the case, titans will form from the fountains and they will wreak havoc upon the world. But what exactly does this mean? In the worlds of both Undertale and Deltarune, we have continuously come across threats that we think are nothing but malicious monsters, only to realize that they're mostly harmless, that even monsters are, well, just as human as we are, that they have thoughts and that they have things they like, that they have family and friends. So I've always found it hard to believe that the harbingers of Toby Fox's apocalypse are living creatures, explicitly living creatures that have no ulterior motivation. So I think it's worth keeping in mind the question of if that is even true. Like, what would their motivation be then? I'm not talking about, oh, the Titans are actually kind-hearted souls and we just have to spare them to win the game, and when we do that, they're gonna give us a big hug and then we're all gonna be friends and the Titans are gonna live in Castletown. That's not what I'm saying. That would be silly. But my point is that I find it strange if the Titans are completely mindless creatures that ravage the world without reason. I just want to find that reason. To what end are they wreaking this havoc? Water is an ever-present, recurring motif in the thematic tapestry of Deltarune. The texture used for the prophecy panels and the Gonnermaker sequence, the depths image we've all come to know and love, has been found to be a segment from an image of water. Water keeps coming back in so many ways in the themes of this game, and one of the main examples here is in the very concept of dark fountains. Think about that name. Dark fountains, as in fountains with water. And even the way dark fountains are described by others in the game reinforces this very idea. The fountains flow, they're geysers. And once again, the depths image can be found in the fountains once we get close to them. This, among other stuff, reinforces the connection between water and darkness itself. Which brings me right back to the roaring. When the light is subsumed by shadow, when the fountains fill the sky. Fountains are sources of darkness. So if fountains fill the sky, then darkness floods everything. The world is caught in a wave of shadow. And if darkness has a thematic link to water, then it's almost like some kind of flood, right? Religious imagery is all over Deltarune. The main religion in Hometown is obviously based on some form of Christianity. The use of words like angel and hell call upon that very same cosmology. Angel's heaven, call of hell, the Christmas stuff in the whole holiday family, and specifically Noel's own connections to Christ. Crucifixion stuff, I could really go on, but my point is really that Deltarune constantly makes allusions to Christian imagery, or perhaps to something more hermetic or Gnostic. The details here don't exactly matter because my larger point is that Toby isn't pulling allusions to Christianity for no reason. I think he's establishing the fact that there are more parallels to Christian ideas to the Bible than just the ones he's directly referencing with these pieces of imagery. The same way I use this point in my crucifixion theories to show how some points of evidence point specifically to the crucifixion of Christ, I think the particular apocalyptic event of the roaring has strong ties to the flood in the Bible. You know, the one with Noah. I've already mentioned the imagery of shadows engulfing the world with darkness having strong ties to water. There's even a verse from the Bible relating to the flood which makes direct allusion to fountains.
In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heavens were opened.
But what is my larger point here? Why does it matter that the roaring has connections to the flood of the Bible as an event? It matters because the flood isn't just a near-apocalyptic event that happened in the Bible. It was a reset, a wiping of the slate for a new earth, a new human race to be born, in a sense.
And the Lord was sorry that he had made humans on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out from the earth the humans I have created, people together with animals and creeping things and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. Genesis 6:6-7.
Creation is the act of bringing a new world into existence, made possible by the annihilation of the old world. Kakutsuchi will allow a life form of its choosing to determine the course of the new world. There must be those in Tokyo who yearn to be chosen by Kakutsuchi in order to realize their vision. The shape of the world to come depends on who is chosen and what the reason is. In the vast Amala universe, this vortex world is not the only place where creation occurs. Kakutsuchi rises, matures, and falls in countless other places. There are millions, no, billions of worlds that you are unaware of, and they all experience the cycle of death and rebirth. That is the way of the Amala, as determined by the Great Will.
Shin Megami Tensei 3's world is one fated to end. In many ways, it is one that is literally already ending, already on its last steps. The only thing that is left to do in this world is to decide what world comes after it, what life you will live in the aftermath. This is the theme at the center of the game, one of creation, but also one of dreams, the power of dreams, and of taking the power to shape the world into your own dreams for yourself. So is that what I'm saying Deltarune is? What the roaring is? Not exactly, but what I am saying is that I think it's very possible that the function of the roaring is the destruction of this world to enable the creation of the next one. And that next world is Undertale. That Undertale and Deltarune don't coexist, but that one precedes the other. Undertale is the world that will be born into existence after Deltarune, and Sans seems out of place because he isn't home to either world, or at least isn't native to the world of Undertale. The machine he has in his secret lab is his method of traveling between these worlds, and now that it's broken, Sans is stuck in the Undertale world. What are the exact mechanics of this world reset? I don't exactly know. I'm not expecting this to be a literal recreation of the Vortex world of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, and we will spend all of Chapter 6 and 7 collecting Magotsui so we have the power to make our reason come true, and that Chris will summon their demonic sponsor, Lorcan. No, my point in bringing up that game was to illustrate that it's very possible Toby played SMT Nocturne and was inspired to put a similar plot device in his own story, consciously or subconsciously, that perhaps his story is also one of a world fated to die for another to be born, and that we might soon see that happen. This explains the reoccurrence of characters in both worlds, but in different contexts. Like, the world was reset, the clock turned back, and things were allowed to play out in a different way. Even the save slot differences, in a weird way, build into this idea. Maybe these different save slots are different kalpas, different resets where different things happened. Different times the world was restarted, with slight differences each time. This idea is kind of in its infancy, however. The fact of the matter is this: I don't have all the pieces, and while I personally do really believe in this idea based on the foremost pieces of evidence I do have, and the inspiration that Toby has already taken from the SMT franchise, I'll be the first to admit that it has problems, but I also think it's an incredibly effective framework that not only makes sense, but really does answer one of the game's biggest questions. And with that, I'd like to end the video. Shouts out to my patrons, specifically Wolferist, A Random Tomato, Spinning Lobster, PoohPooh, and Celestial Ave. Thank you all so much for the support. And if you, yes you, the person watching this video, would like a shout out in the next video, consider signing up for my Patreon. If not, thanks for watching to this point, and I'll see you guys in the next video.